The other major thing that I've realised is how powerful a deadline is. Now, let me tell you something. I am not the kind of person who thinks, oh, the deadline is 3 months away, let me begin today and take my time. I'm not that person. I know some people are. I'm the person that says, right, truth be told, what is the last possible moment? How long can I wait until I have to begin this project? Because I like the idea that a project takes as long as the time available. If I spend 6 months on something, I'll lose steam, weeks and months go by, and it's heavy. An open project is heavy. There's emotional baggage that goes with a project. It's on your mind, you're seeing evidence of it, things that you've left lying around. Like with the renovation, there were times when I was halfway through something, so I was leaving everything out, but that had an emotional toll. So I had to take everything, put it away for months, knowing I couldn't do any work, and just release myself from the emotional burden. And then when I was ready, bring it all back out again. And it's amazing when you're ready how quickly you can get a job finished, like the hallway paneling. Give yourself a deadline, give yourself proper time, and take yourself off the emotional burden in between those moments. So with uni, with the book deal, I thought, what's the last possible moment I could begin? And I knew that I could write the book proposal in 3 weeks, and that would be quite a generous amount of time. The other thing I want to tell you that might seem obvious, but it's worth mentioning, is that I don't live in a world where I can just check out for 6 months and work on my book and, oh, isn't this beautiful and life's amazing, and I get to work on my art. I don't live in that kind of world. I am an entrepreneur, I'm self-funded. All of the money that I live off in the world, I earn. So maybe if I was smart, I could push and save up all this money and then live off that. But I just wouldn't want to do that because I would lose momentum in another part of my life. But what I can do is take 3 weeks off or 4 weeks off at a time, keep things ticking over in the background and dedicate that chunk of time to the thing that I'm working on. So with the book proposal, they gave us a deadline. I submitted it 2 days early, which is something I've never done before. I've never been early with a project, but the reason I was able to do that is because of 2 things. The first one is, even though I gave myself 3 weeks to do the book proposal, I've been working on this book for a year, and this is what I mean by deadlines and frameworks. You know, in Be The Person, the whole reason I set this membership up, aside from wanting to do something motivational, something monthly, some kind of membership, I wanted that magical space. The other reason that I set it up was because I needed to be held accountable to produce my ideas, and I need a deadline. And that monthly deadline of workbook, chapter, videos, Sunday live, that deadline focuses all of the thinking that I've been doing in the past 30 days, and it produces something. So when I sat down to write the book proposal, I had this really funny moment of, don't worry about this, Lisa, like, you've written so many chapters, you've probably written the whole book, your ideas are amazing, this is going to be brilliant. And then I sat down to start doing the proposal, and I started digging up my chapters and pulling things together, and I thought, Lisa, this isn't a book at all. Do you know what I've produced in Be The Person? What I've produced in Be The Person, which is a monthly membership for helping people to overcome procrastination, get their creative projects done, heal, get out of their own way, put stuff out in the world. What I've created is a membership that helps people do that, because that's entirely what I intended to do. The workbooks are brilliant for the purpose. The videos are perfect for the purpose. But it's not a book, guys. It's not a book. The chapters aren't long enough. The ideas aren't deep enough. The workbook questions at the end aren't suitable in the way that I've done them for the book. So I had a moment in the first couple of days of sitting down and thinking, dear God, Lisa, like, what were you thinking? This is not a book. And then I had to go away and have a quiet night and think, can I do this? And I had moments of questioning, can I do this? Will I be able to pull this off? And that is so normal on a project. In those moments, I don't sit down and go, force yourself, make yourself, you said you would. I think, do you know what? I've given myself 3 weeks, and part of that 3-week time allocation is a bit of budget to spend wondering, what on earth was I thinking? So in terms of the framework, there were 2 aspects to it. The first aspect was Be The Person. The whole membership gave me a framework to hold me accountable, to develop my ideas, to turn up, to articulate my thoughts. The second thing about the framework was Hay House ran this event. They taught us over 2 days how to get a book deal, and they sent us away with an example book proposal. Best gift I've ever been given. When I was reading it, I could see so clearly that there had to be a covering letter, there had to be an overview, what is the book, sell us the book, and that had to be commercial, not just, oh, look at my idea. It proved there was a market for it. You had to show that this book would jump out on the bookshelves and show that you were the right person to write it. And I thought that was really cool. You had to do an overview of the chapters, what's going in each chapter. You had to provide market analysis. There was a section about the author. Even that was really hard to write. And then you had to provide up to 10,000 words of your actual writing so they could see how you took these ideas and brought them to life. So that framework, what I did was I downloaded a program called Scrivener. I don't know how you pronounce it. Scrivener. Notion is a similar kind of thing online, but Scrivener is dedicated for writing books and plays and scripts and things like that. And what it allowed me to do, even though that is dedicated for writing books, I set up a project dedicated to the book proposal. So I could have a section for the covering letter, I could have a section for the overview, a section for the market analysis. And what I did was each day I got at my desk and I sat down and I said, right Lisa, 60 minutes on the timer, you're going to work on your bio. And even though it was really hard and I didn't know where to begin and the first thing I put down was rubbish, by the end of the 60 minutes, I had a framework, I had an outline, I had a draft, and I thought, okay, you've begun. And then I would go and do something else, do a client call. I went home to write this book proposal for a week with my mum and I loved it. I'd go play Scrabble with my mum, have a break. When I came back to work on that section again, having a draft meant I could make it better. That line is naff. Oh my god, you completely forgot to mention that you got shortlisted by Penguin for the Right Now competition. Get that in there. And then I would leave it, come back. And some days I'd come back to that section and think, I don't want to work on that anymore, I'm done. And I'd move on to another section. But what happened was, over the course of the first 7 days, 10 days, 15 days, it started to take shape. And if Hay House had said, give us what you've got right now, it wouldn't have been anywhere near as good as what I polished it to be in the last couple of days. But the point is, the framework of Be the Person helped me develop my ideas, and then the framework of Scrivener, Notion, whatever you use, the framework of breaking this proposal up into sections gave me little chunks of work that I could do and come back to and improve. And I realise now, I mean, I think we know this, but your first draft is going to be naff. Try not to swear. First shit version and all that. It's going to be naff. And your second version is going to be less naff. And then the third version, maybe it reads well. But the more you come back to each individual component of a project, the better it's going to get.